this argument, in my opinion, is confusing. Was his tenure with the Lakers a success, or is he an all-time great Laker? No, he's not an all-time great Laker. You're not going to be considered Magic Johnson or James Worthy or Kareem or Kobe Bryant. But his tenure there was a success. Everything that you said, I was going to run down. The numbers are sensational. He won the championship, whether people say it's in the bubble or not in the bubble. He won a championship there. But I think one of the biggest points, Jay and Stephen A, is this, right? When he got there, people will say, before he got to the Lakers, they'll say, LeBron always gets to where he wants to go. He wants to Miami and play with Bosh and play with D Wade. Then when he got back to Cleveland, he got rid of Wiggins and got Kevin Love. So what happens when he gets to the Lakers, right? Who's his GM? His GM is Magic Johnson. So therefore he could fall back. Magic Johnson's going to take over the wheels. I don't have to say I want this player, take this player. What happened? Magic Johnson doesn't talk to LeBron. First of all, he doesn't even draft Fox. He gets Lonzo Ball.
Or Jason Tatum.
Yeah, or Jason Tatum. And I see you complain about that a few times, saying your only problem with Magic Johnson in life is getting Lonzo Ball. So you don't get Lonzo Ball. And where does Magic doesn't have a conversation with LeBron. He doesn't have a conversation with Jeannie Buss. Where does Magic Johnson say he's not doing his job anymore? On this show. He comes up here and says, in credit to this show, that's how popular this show is, and said, I'm not doing this anymore. So then what does LeBron do? Put his GM hat back on, go get Anthony Davis, and they won a championship. So I want to give credit to LeBron being a Laker. All-time great Laker, no, but his tenure with the Lakers was a success.
Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. And this is where I think there is such a wild double standard for LeBron compared to other contemporary stars. Since LeBron's been with the Lakers, only the Celtics have the Lakers clearly beat in team success. No team's won more rings. No team's been to more finals. The Lakers are then tied for second with a bunch of other teams on been to one finals, won one championship. OKC, obviously, in a month might eclipse them. Has Jokic's career with Denver been a success? Has Giannis's career with Milwaukee been a success? I'm purely talking about the team success. This is LeBron with the Lakers versus Joker, who's been with the Nuggets for 11 years. Giannis has been with the Bucks for 13 years. It's the same number of finals appearances, the same number of titles, the same number of conference finals appearances, roughly the same regular season win percentage, the playoff win-loss, 8 series wins, 10 series wins, 7 series won. If the Lakers were not successful with LeBron, then what we're saying is in the last 8 years in the NBA, only the Celtics have been successful. Or maybe not them. Maybe nobody's been successful.
But the reason there's a double standard is he's LeBron. I'm not going to say he wasn't successful. He was wildly successful with the Lakers. So I'm agreeing with you on that. But I'm just saying, yes, that's a compliment to LeBron that there's a double standard. I'm not comparing you to freaking Nikola Jokic, as great as he is. I'm comparing you to Michael Jordan, yourself, Kareem, Matt, guys like that. So there's a double standard, yes. But I agree with you. It was wildly successful. I said before he went to LA, if you go there, you got to win a championship. He did do that. He became the all-time leading scorer there. That's nothing to sneeze at. He played with his son there, which something we've never seen. Those are huge things you can't discount. But this is my hierarchy of Los Angeles Lakers, because George Mikan was in Minneapolis. But Magic, Kobe, some might switch that. That's fine. I don't argue that. Kareem third, Shaq fourth, Jerry West fifth, and then LeBron sixth.
There's nothing I need to show, in this league. As far as I want to show people I can do this or show myself I can do this. I've done it all. I've seen it all. So, just being able to compete and trying to win championships, I think that's the motivating factor. It's always been, since I probably first time I touched the postseason in 06, I was like, how can I compete for a championship? Like when I touched the postseason, I was like, oh, this is something I want to be a part of for a long time. So I'm not looking at, my year as a disappointment. That's for damn sure. Especially, I was put into some positions I've never played in my career before. Actually, in my life. I've never been a third option in my life. So to be able to, thrive in that role for that period of time, and then have to step back into the role that I've been accustomed with over my career, over my life, playing the sport, and be able to thrive under that. And then just my teammates allowing me to lead them under extreme circumstances, that was pretty cool for me at this stage of my career.
Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Louis Sports Network. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday evening. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure your post notifications are turned on, make sure you're sharing it on social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. Second straight video of the day. Hope everybody's had a wonderful Wednesday. Peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I definitely appreciate it, man. Without you guys, there is no me. Love you and appreciate you guys for just sticking with me despite my busy schedule, man. But second straight video in the building. I'll be editing these videos and uploading them up because it's been pretty much a month since I last posted. But anyway, on to the video. I know the talk has been about LeBron, and what do you think about, do you think that LeBron's tenure as a Laker has been a success because LeBron has been playing the retirement game since 2023 when he got swept in the Western Conference Finals at the hands of the Denver Nuggets? So we have to ask ourselves, is LeBron done in LA? Now, I've already said that I don't think he's done playing basketball. And part of the reason I said is because of what I said in the first video. If you guys haven't taken a look, take a look at the video that I first uploaded about the possibility of Steph Curry as to being the real reason and the real fear of why LeBron is still playing. And like I said, before you guys disagree or say it's preposterous, really think about what I said. Think about the comments that I said. And when you think about the comments that I said, at least it'll give you some perspective, even if you disagree. But I just want you to just think about what I'm saying when you put everything into context. But getting back to what I was saying with LeBron, it was his Laker tenure. Was it a success or was it a failure? Let me give you my honest opinion on this. The Lakers, prior to LeBron arriving to the Los Angeles Lakers, they had 5 straight losing seasons from 2014 to 2018. But one thing that people have to remember was the first 3 years after the Lakers got swept out of the playoffs at the hands of San Antonio, they won 27 games, 21 games, and 17 games in Kobe's last 3 years after Kobe was riddled with injuries after tearing his Achilles in 2013. And also remember that Kobe was losing in the playoffs for the next 2 years after 2010 because Kobe had came off back-to-back championships, right? So also remember, ladies and gentlemen, that back in 2010, Kobe was coming off back-to-back championships in 2009, 2010. But the next 2 years, Kobe would lose in the second round. Kobe went 1-8 in his last 9 playoff games with the Lakers. You had, in the second round, I should say, 4-0 to Dallas and 4-1 to OKC. Because in the first round of 2012, they went 7 games against the Denver Nuggets. But anyway, so the Lakers have been not succeeding since 2010. And they had 5 straight years that they missed the playoffs. They signed LeBron James in 2018, and LeBron James misses the playoffs in his first year, but then they're able to get Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis and JaVale McGee and Rajon Rondo. They get J.R. Smith, and now the Lakers end up winning the title. Again, you're always going to hear me say bubble title, but be that as it may, the Lakers won the championship the very next year. The problem is people just want to tie the entire success to LeBron James when it was Anthony Davis, when the bigs were the ones that made the impact to help the Lakers win, because you don't win by yourself. And I continue to say that I think LeBron purposely froze out AD so that he could get that finals MVP because his obsession is with Michael Jordan. But be that as it may, the Lakers won the championship. But then what happened after that? The Lakers lost in the first round to the Phoenix Suns. The very next year, they were predicted to win 70 games by the media by that Uncle Ruckus, Fuzzy Lumpkins, and Kendrick Perkins. If you don't know what Fuzzy Lumpkins is, I suggest you look up Powerpuff Girls. And that's who Fuzzy Lumpkins with Kendrick Perkins, who he reminds me of. Because of that, they had one of the most historically worst seasons in franchise history. They won 33 games for a team that had, 4 top 75 players on their team? Melo, Russ, LeBron, and AD. Dwight Howard didn't make the top 75, and he should have. That should have been 5. But they failed miserably, and they had expectations to win a championship, one of the odds to go to the finals and win a title. So that was a complete disaster and a failure. Then the next year, they were looking like that they weren't going to make the playoffs. And the thing is, you got to keep in mind that the Lakers from 2023 to 2026, they led the league in free throw differential with the amount of calls they got. And they made it to the Western Conference Finals. They get swept at the hands of the Denver Nuggets, who went on to win the NBA championship. Then in 2024, the very next year, I forgot how many games they won. It might have been 47 or 48 games, I think. But they lose to the Nuggets in 5 games in round 1, and the Nuggets were actually worse as a team than they were in 2023. And they still lost in 5 games because of down the stretch. Then in 2025, against Minnesota, Lakers had home court advantage, and they still lose. And they lose the series in 5 games at the hands of Minnesota. And this was after acquiring Luka Doncic, another superstar, to play alongside LeBron James. So then, and now this year, even though they didn't have Luka, I know they still had Austin Reeves, they had some of these other pieces, they signed DeAndre Ayton and whatnot and all those kind of things. In 2026, the Lakers get swept in the second round at the hands of Oklahoma City. So when you look at LeBron's tenure, it was successful for him in that he added a championship on a different team, which is what the media has been pushing, that, LeBron has able to win championships with 3 different teams. Everywhere he goes, he wins. But what people are forgetting is that everywhere he goes, there has to be roster moves that has to be made. So that's where the GM nickname came from. I just said that the only place he didn't have control was in Miami because he wasn't getting control over Pat Riley. Pat Riley wasn't having it. But getting back to his Laker tenure. So it was successful because the Lakers had missed the playoffs 5 straight years. So they made the playoffs 6 out of 8 years. But you have to, again, guys, consider the free throw differential that they had from 2023 to 2026 because they were being carried a bit by the referees. Because people kept saying, the Lakers, this is the year they're going to win the championship, man. The Lakers got the pieces to win it all, to go to the finals. They kept saying all this. But every time the Lakers failed, it was, what'd you expect? They lost to the better team. They're the best team. They're the better team. And the Lakers didn't have realistic expectations. But when you look at the ultimate culprit, it's the media. It's because they play along with narratives. And because they play along with narratives, it's made LeBron's success, quote unquote, it makes it seem like it's a colossal failure because people were thinking that LeBron was going to lead the Lakers into multiple championships. And I said that in order to validate the bubble, they needed to win a legitimate title. Because when you look at LeBron's tenure in LA, he hasn't won a championship in a natural environment. And that's why he's gone around defending the fact that the 2020 title and the 2016 title are the 2 hardest championships that he's ever won. And you see, when you have to constantly defend it, it just lets you know how legit were those titles. If you have to consistently defend it. See, if you didn't care, you could have just said, I'm not going to get into that. The bottom line is that I won the championship. But you see, again, that's the insecurity of LeBron James. When you have to constantly go to the media for narratives, about how you're the greatest this and you're the greatest all that. And you notice all of the records that LeBron was inching himself closer on in the milestones. It became more about the milestones and not about winning. So yeah, you made the playoffs 6 out of 8 years, but you missed the playoffs twice. You've lost in the first round 3 times because that was another narrative too. Oh, LeBron has never lost in the first round, but he's lost in the first round 3 times as a Laker in his 8 seasons. And LeBron James really came at the tail end of his prime. He was 33 years old? Like, he was in his prime, but it was in the tail end. So it's successful because he won a title, the city won a title, but the problem is it's a failure at the same time because they haven't been able to legitimize that championship. They haven't been able to validate it. So because they haven't been able to validate that championship, that's why it's a failure, because you would have, should have won multiple titles. If you think that one title is going to make you an all-time great Laker, I said the thing is, and when you look at some of these games in his tenure as a Laker in the playoffs, other than the 2020 title, how competitive have the Laker teams been in the LeBron era in Los Angeles? So that's another thing that you have to consider, ladies and gentlemen. And the media, they have just constantly done the what if scenario hypotheticals. And to me, it's hurt LeBron's status as a Laker in Los Angeles. And also another thing is, with him going to LA, he's worn 3 hats. What is he going to be known as? A Laker? There's Laker fans who don't think he's a legit Laker. A Miami Heat? He spent 4 years in Miami, so not enough sample size. He did his most winning there, but he only spent 4 seasons there. And then you obviously have Cleveland, where he's played the most seasons of any team in his career. It's just that his longest tenure stop was with the Lakers because he had 2 stints in Cleveland, but he's played the most seasons in Cleveland. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it all ties into longevity. Again, 6 out of 8 seasons making the playoffs sounds good if he would have won more than 1 title. But because he hasn't, and everything has been just about narratives, and LeBron just doesn't seem serious about winning. And that's what I said, that LeBron is an opportunist. If it looks like there's an opportunity to win a championship, he's going to be front and center, and he's going to act like a front runner. See, it makes it seem like I'm hating on him, but it's just like, you have to look at what's happened. Everything has been about narratives, and everything has been about blaming others for when he fails. And to me, he's been a very piss poor leader for pretty much most of his career. And as a Laker, it's just been nothing more than just getting statistical records, because LeBron even tried to do that. LeBron tried to do it when he was talking to the media back in 2018 when he signed that 4-year, $154 million contract when he initially got it. Another thing that hurts is the fact that, is he really about winning if all LeBron wants to do is earn max money? Then you have the media trashing, you have Rich Paul trashing Austin Reeves, and he should come off the bench or he should go to another team to earn the max money. The media trashing Luka Doncic, the media trashing LeBron's teammates. It's all of their fault. They need to step up and do this and do that. So when you think about that, because it was happening in Cleveland too, that's why I said I consider it a failure, because all LeBron has done has not take accountability. Accountability has been LeBron's biggest problem. And even when he does take it, he takes indirect shots at his teammates. And that's why I said it's poor leadership. Then you think about the practice aspect, how he doesn't really practice. How do you expect to build chemistry when you don't practice? The real time that they had chemistry, honestly, was really that 2020 season. So all things considered, do I think LeBron was successful? He won a title. But when it comes to winning, he's been a failure in terms of being able to win more and establish himself as an all-time great Laker. He's an all-time great player, but he's not an all-time great Laker. And people need to accept that, whether LeBron fanboys like it or not. He's failed as a Laker, and he knows it. And it's very difficult to want to claim yourself the greatest, and then you don't like Kareem, you pass him on the all-time scoring record. And the thing is, the fact that people are coming out and saying things about you, knowing that your time is coming close to an end. You've also played off retirement and acted like a narcissist. When you do these antics, it's just gonna make it seem like your time in LA was it really a success? When all you've tried to do is just shift the blame and control the narrative. When you do that, it makes it hard for people to take you seriously. It's like, that's why LeBron is one of the only athletes that I know that gets all these nicknames of like LaFoney and all these Labalco and all these kind of things. That's why. So when you consider his career in LA, it's like people want you out because they can see that you're not serious about winning. It was supposed to be a spectacle to have a farewell tour and to be the all-time leader in games played and playoff points and playoff wins, and everything has just been a statistic now by the media. They want to celebrate you with a longevity record stat and getting over 10,000 rebounds. Everything has just been a longevity stat. So now ask yourself, and when he breaks milestones, the Lakers have not been winning. So does it really matter, ladies and gentlemen? That's what you have to ask yourself. Is it really worth it that you're getting all of these longevity milestones to celebrate yourself, but it's coming at the price of winning basketball games, at the price of winning championships? Because ever since 2020, I just feel like LeBron has just done everything in his power to make sure that he gets his and that he doesn't shift the blame, which is why LeBron appeals to the young generation, because he knows how to manipulate and brainwash their minds. So, again, at the end of the day, is LeBron a successful NBA player? Yes. Is he successful when it comes to his career as a Laker? I don't think so. One championship? Cool. Good for his legacy. Helps the Lakers get banner 17. But the problem is, what have you done for me lately? What have you done since then? Lack of practice, not being able to play, and not taking accountability. And when the media is ripping your teammates apart, you don't stand up and stick up for them. You just let it ride. And I think it's those kind of things that's made things a failure. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about my comments about LeBron's tenure as a Laker being a success or a failure. Again, it just depends on who you talk to, but I can see it from both perspectives. Let me know what you guys think. Bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you guys for watching.
Now you've won the series. What, game 6, did you think you were done? Like, walk us through like the last 28 seconds there.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, Bill. You need a little bit of luck to win an NBA championship, and that's exactly what we had. We had a little bit of luck. We had a couple missed free throws. We hit a couple shots. We had a couple offensive rebounds. And we got Jesus on our side. Jesus showed us to be able to send the game in overtime and give us an extra life. So,
have you ever had a situation like that as a pro where you basically just got handed the second chance?
No, I've never been in a situation where I felt like 9 months is going down the drain till we got an extra life. Goal is win the championship. And I understand that me going down as one of the greats will not happen until I, win a championship. So for me, the team that I decided to go to, or stand in Cleveland, that ultimately has the best chance for me to win a championship, not 1 year, but multiple years, and for me to continue to get better and help that team win, I think ultimately would be my decision.
The ring is a team accomplishment.
I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to me individually.
2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, not 12, not 13, not 14, not 15, not 16, not 17, not 18, not 19, not 20, not 21, not 22, not 23, not 24, not 25, not 26, not 27, not 28, not 29, not 30, not 31, not 32, not 33, not 34, not 35, not 36, not 37, not 38, not 39, not 40, not 41, not 42, not 43, not 44, not 45, not 46, not 47, not 48, not 49, not 50, not 51, not 52, not 53, not 54, not 55, not 56, not 57, not 58, not 59, not 60, not 61, not 62, not 63, not 64, not 65, not 66, not 67, not 68, not 69, not 70, not 71, not 72, not 73, not 74, not 75, not 76, not 77, not 78, not 79, not 80, not 81, not 82, not 83, not 84, not 85, not 86, not 87, not 88, not 89, not 90, not 91, not 92, not 93, not 94, not 95, not 96, not 97, not 98, Got 7.
I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport.
I don't play for anything besides winning championships.